Ah, so you did notice me, didn't you?
I will ask you one last time. What exactly are you?
Remember me as the one who supports Liu Bei and who is trying to do everything to divert your path.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the series where we're counting down the top Dynasty Warriors characters as of the latest game. Coming in at number 67, we have Zuo Ci. Zuo Ci is a legendary person who is famous for visiting Cao Cao. He is a master of illusion, sorcery, and fortune telling. He supposedly lived to be 300 years old before he became an immortal being. So now let's take a look at the popularity polls to see why Zuo Ci ended up in 67. In the first popularity poll, Zuo Ci comes in at number 27. Highest that we've had so far, over 1,000 votes, 1,112 to be exact. He had over 1,000 votes, number 27th on the list. And unfortunately, in the second and third rankings, the second one he was down at 80th. And then in my personal rankings, he's all the way down at 71st. But I was actually shocked when I was, first making the video and looking for his popularity ranking. I was looking down towards the bottom because it's Zuo Ci. Zuo Ci is a very mysterious person. He's probably the least amount, out of all the characters, he's probably the least that I know about, the least amount of information. I don't really know much about Zuo Ci. I know who he is. I've seen him in the games and everything. I don't really know much about him, but he's all the way up at 27th in the first popularity poll. A lot of people seem to like him. So Zuo Ci is a quaint yet mysterious individual. Like I said, he's a wizened mystic who speaks humbly, and he doesn't care for material wealth or status, and define the times with his focused view on morality and the future. Though seemingly frail, he possesses a great deal of power that excels other characters, such as his ability to teleport and transform. So let's go ahead and jump right into Zuo Ci and how he's changed since the first game he was in. He was introduced into the Dynasty Warriors game in Dynasty Warriors 5, and he's been in the game ever since. Now, he's been taken out a lot. He was part of Dynasty Warriors 5, and then he got taken out in Dynasty Warriors 6 and Dynasty Warriors 7. And then he returned to Dynasty Warriors 8 and Dynasty Warriors 9. So he hasn't been really in a lot of games. He doesn't really have a lot of content revolved around him either. But let's go ahead and jump right into how he's changed from each of the games that he's been a part of. All right, so let's first start off with his weapon style. In the first two games, he has the Talisman cards in Dynasty Warriors 5 and 8. And then in Dynasty Warriors 9, he gets the staff. He's one of the few characters in the game that has a magical presence to him. So the cards that he used and the staff he used in Dynasty Warriors 9, they all have a very magical Zhuge Liang, Sima Yi kind of attacks. Like in Dynasty Warriors 5, it's honestly a little overpowered how strong the attack strategies are. I mean, he's got a very good AoE attack, so he hits, a very wide area with some of his attacks, and he just shoots out beams of light and does tons of damage. And then, of course, in Dynasty Warriors 8, he's using the exact same weapon, but it's just beefed up a little bit. So he's a pretty strong character, and he makes it pretty easy to play the game. His weapon style is really easy to use, and it's kind of fun. I mean, I don't have any complaints about the Talisman cards. And then Dynasty Warriors 9, he gets the staff, which also fits him pretty well. I don't have any complaints about the staff they use in Dynasty Warriors 9. The style fits him well. He's got good attacks. The Musou, and I think both the games are pretty much the same. Dynasty Warriors 5, 8, and 9, his main Musou attack is the little spinning one, and then it shoots out a bunch of things. And then the aerial attack is the same and stuff like that. But his weapon style is pretty fun. I can't complain about it. He has some very interesting attacks. A lot of elemental stuff, a lot of magical things, and that's just the character that he is. Now let's go ahead and jump into how he's changed appearance-wise throughout the few games. Now he pretty much looks the same in all three games that he's a part of. He doesn't look that much different, to be honest. He wears a robe. He's got the white, I don't know if that's a helmet or a hat or if that's his actual hair, but he's got the same beard, same long mustache and everything. He's got the patch on his right eye. And he looks pretty much the same in all three games. Can't complain anything about his appearance. The only thing that's interesting about it is that in Dynasty Warriors 9, his robe, when you're riding with the horse, it kind of looks like his hands are behind his back. So when I first started riding with him, I was like, is he riding without using his hands? But other than that, I mean, there's not much else to his appearance. Just thought that was a little funny. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to his voice acting. Dynasty Warriors 5, he has a different voice actor for each game. Dynasty Warriors 5 and 8 sound relatively the same. It's kind of like a magician type you know, mystic. You know, it fits him well. All the actors, actually, all the voice actors fit him pretty well. But in Dynasty Warriors 9, there is a notable change. And when I first played with him and I like clicked on his like profile and he said his line,
I see fate has brought us together.
I was like, that sounds super, super familiar. And it wasn't until I kept hearing it over and over again, I was like, oh, so his voice actor in Dynasty Warriors 9 is the same voice actor that does Chang Pu. They have the exact same voice actor. So he goes from the like, it's like a lighter, higher pitch voice.
I wonder if you'd answer a question I asked you once.
So not much to complain about his voice acting. I mean, the only difference is it sounds a lot different from Dynasty Warriors 9 in the first 2 games that he was in, but not much to complain about. It just sounds just fine for Zuo Ci. And the last thing I think we'll go over is the relationships that he has with people. I don't think he really has any relationship with anybody except for maybe Cao and Liu Bei, but even then it's kind of a stretch because he doesn't really play that big of a role in the Dynasty Warriors series itself, but he does have unique interactions with both of those people. So with Cao, at first he was just trying to analyze who Cao was, what his intentions were, what he wanted to accomplish, and what he was trying to accomplish as a conqueror of China. And then the same thing with Liu Bei. He just picked Liu Bei because he believed that his ideals were better than Cao's. He believed that Liu Bei's way of conquering the land and his vision and ambition and ideas of how the land should be, he thought that was the best way to go. So he ended up not forming an alliance or joining the Shu Kingdom, but he did favor Liu Bei as the one chosen to rule the world or rule China and stuff like that. So yeah, Zuo Ci doesn't really have any deep relationships with anybody. He just thought that Liu Bei was the land's greatest hero and the best bet for, like I said, the vision that he had for the land and all that stuff. So that's why he chose Liu Bei and the Kingdom of Shu. But that's pretty much all I have for Zuo Ci. I don't really have much else for him. A shorter video for this character. Again, I don't really know much about him. And he wasn't really part of the games as much as maybe somebody wanted him to. I mean, he was removed from the game in Dynasty Warriors 6 and 7 because the developers wanted to keep the, series at a historical view, even though Dynasty Warriors 6 really wasn't. I mean, it had a lot of hypotheticals in that game. But Zuo Ci was taken out of it because they thought that Zuo Ci wouldn't really fit in with that kind of whatever they were trying to accomplish with Dynasty Warriors. Dynasty Warriors 7 was more historical than Dynasty Warriors 6, but he was returned in Dynasty Warriors 8 because of the hypothetical scenarios. But like I said, guys, that's all I have for Zuo Ci. Not many changes from the first time he was introduced till now. And not much is really known about him except for he was in favor of Liu Bei and wanting him to win the war and all that stuff. But I mean, he was a magician. He was a sorcerer. He was tricky. There were some rumors to say that he would walk through walls and he could like teleport and it's just crazy stuff like that. He had a very supernatural presence about him. And that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think about Zuo Ci if you guys are a fan of him. And we'll be going on to number 66 here pretty shortly. But that's all I have for Zuo Ci. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.